Hello and thanks for checking out TheChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. Sign up for a 1-week free trial, no credit card required, for access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hello everyone, checking in on MJ as there is still a lot of attention and hype. MJX still doing some buying in my opinion, and like I said in the last video, this is now a bit of artificial price action going on just because there is underlying significant buying going on and disrupting the natural flow of things, which the bulls will certainly take because it is in their benefit. But we're very, very cautious up here. And today there was a really nice opportunity for the bulls to see continuation. There was a clue. A member in the chat room pointed out overnight that in Germany, ACB was up 20%. And look at that, ACB goes up 20% today. So that was a nice little heads up. And we had a ton of bullish action. We saw a little profit taking. Didn't see the same force and bull momentum at the end of the day that we're used to, but they were still strong closes, and we're not necessarily done yet. In my opinion, we will be done and consolidate on the daily time frame when MJX is done buying assets, but we don't know when that's going to be, so there is still potential for further upside. I have said in the past that I don't think I'm ever going to short MJ, and that has changed, and I shorted MJX today, and it went perfectly. I'll go over that trade in just a moment, but I am opening myself up. When you get in these kind of conditions, and again, overinflated, overbought positions due to this unusual scenario with the ETF, there is really nice shorting opportunity. So I'm the kind of person that's going to lock in my profit. I'm going to short and make more profit, and then I'm going to load up more shares than I've ever had before once we do consolidate on the daily time frame. So it's just a way to build positions. It doesn't mean I'm bearish on the sector or anything like that. It's just a way to lock in more profit. So on MJX, we saw a big gap up open today. Look at the volume. Once we hit a volume climax, that's another thing that I'm going to be looking for to indicate that we are at a temporary top. So the volume continues to steadily grow. The first day we had less than 300,000 shares. We just traded 6 million today. So at one point tomorrow, if we see more shares tomorrow, I'm calling that the climax. And if we don't, then today will be the climax. But it is a bearish reversal spinning top candlestick on the gap up open. So we have to be cautious. I'm looking at the hourly time frame on all of these tickers. And the hourly range is set. The low of the pullback today, we did get a brief, pretty steep pullback. The bulls recovered and slowly bounced into the end of the day. But that's our range now. So support on MJX is 36.22. If we break that level, I'm very comfortable saying the top of this move is in. And resistance is the high 38.38. If we break 38.38 tomorrow morning, there's potential that the bulls see continuation and we see these names continue to run up. So that's what I'm watching. My signal for shorting today, I was basing it all off WEED. And that's because it is, in my opinion, the sector leader. It is major holdings in MJX. I know there's a whole lot of other factors. But what I was looking at was ACB and WEED hitting new all-time highs in this afternoon, or it was this late morning, and it was not seeing the same thing happen on MJX. We did not hit a new high of the day. So that was red flag number one for me. Secondly, I looked at WEED on the 5-minute time frame, and we had been holding exponential moving average supports pretty much the entire day. And this candlestick right here is when I entered my bearish position and went short on MJX, and then I scaled out on the way down and almost nailed the bottom. And the reason that I was scaling out rather than trying to hold it multiple days is because when you give the MJ sector 5-minute oversold conditions on an extremely bullish breakout run, the bulls buy the dip. So here's that RSI touching 30 and bouncing. So I was scaling out on the way down here. I broke my position up. It's the largest short that I've ever taken in my life. And I broke my position up into parts, just 5 different positions. And what I did was I call it a top fishing play, where I have the high of the move, I make my bearish entry, and then I just set a stop loss. If we break to a higher high, I exit. I'm not going to get stuck in a short squeeze or anything like that. I will eat my small loss instantly if we break to higher highs. And fortunately did not have to do that. So where we stand tomorrow, I'm looking at the hourly time frame and whether or not we can break to higher highs. Every single day on this run, we're hitting higher highs. The first day that we don't do that, that's going to entice people to take profit more clearly, and that will be another indication that normal, healthy consolidation on the daily is coming. Again, even if we pull back 20% on all of these names, it will be normal, healthy daily consolidation, considering how much we have run to this point. WEED daily time frame. Strong close. I didn't get in on the close. I was looking at potentially getting in for another, maybe a gap up open. I did not do that because we didn't close over 36. I had a really good day today in terms of a swing position on ACB and then that short on MJX, and I didn't want to get back any of that profit. This is certainly enough profit for me to be very content with the day, and I don't need to get into another overnight position unless the conditions are exactly what I wanted them to be. And if I were to have gotten into this position at the end of the day for another potential gap up sell play, that would have been me settling for something that I wasn't feeling extremely confident about. So I personally am all cash right now and just patiently waiting. It could go up another 10% tomorrow, and I'm not going to rush. I'll probably make some bullish trades, but I'm not going to rush and have, fear of missing out and jump into things, because I am extremely confident that within 1 week's time, these prices are going to be lower than where they are right now. So bulls are still in control right now. Same thing. Watch the hourly chart. We have the dump on the hourly. Key support now is 32.25. As long as the bulls maintain hourly higher lows, they keep control. And resistance is 36.25. If the bulls cannot break that level tomorrow morning, that's a red flag. If we break 36.25, we're looking up to 37. Hourly higher lows are our support levels. 34.71 is another support level to be watching. ACB on the daily time frame, huge gap up. It was the clear lead bull today. Citron went short on ACB, and you might say, who the heck is Citron? Citron is a group in the US that goes after overvalued stocks and shorts them, and then it puts out a release, and all their followers short the stock as well, and they can do a number on a stock really quickly. So we did see a fast drop when that news came out. This is Citron. I believe it was right here. Citron announced that they were bearish on ACB, and we dumped 70 cents real quick. But we didn't break support. Look at this low. 13.28, higher low of 13.35, higher low of 13.41. Bulls maintain their support levels, and they never broke even with that bearish news. Have to keep in mind, though, that there is now a group with a bullseye on the forehead of ACB looking to short it and anticipating it to pull back in a normal, healthy manner because it is overbought. So they are very successful most of the time on their plays. They shorted the blockchain names due to the crypto hype. They made profit on those plays. They've done it to Tesla. They've done it to so many names. They go short themselves. They put out the report. All their followers go short, and then they cover fairly shortly after. So this is something that we have to be aware of. A lot of people, including members in our group, decided not to play ACB at the end of the day because there is this little overhang of bearish momentum in the short term. Not momentum, but bearish fundamentals, just the fact that there is this hit piece out looking to short ACB. So on the hourly time frame, and if you want more information, look at Twitter and look at Citron, Citron. So ACB on the hourly time frame formed inside bars and then got a little bull break at the end of the day. The must-hold support from here is 13.28, the low of the pullback, and our resistance is going to be up at 14.31 and then the high of 14.88. When you compare these two names, ACB and Weed, percentage-wise, Weed needs about 1% for an all-time high. ACB needs about 4 or 5%, just very roughly. So it's much more required for the bulls to see continuation tomorrow. If we don't break the high of today, tomorrow, look for that to give people a reason to take profit. Have to break that resistance of 14.88 first thing. A lot of people are looking to play some puts on Canadian MJ, and I cannot blame them because we are artificially pumped up due to this ETF. MJN on the daily time frame, extremely strong, but overextended. We look at the hourly time frame, we're looking at the same thing. The low of support down here must hold 950. Really nice oversold bounce from the 5-minute oversold conditions on MJN today. We also have a new support here, 1061. 1061 breaking. Without breaking 1115, the all-time high, is a red flag. And then we're looking down at 950 after that. So again, if you lose the hourly higher lows, consolidation is likely to start on the daily time frame. If you break to new all-time highs, the bulls can see continuation. That's what we're watching in the first 15 minutes of trading tomorrow. APH is not factored into MJX. It's not a holding, but the bulls are holding on strong here as well. In terms of where we closed relative to the all-time high, we are about 2.5% off. So proximity to the all-time highs, WEED is the closest, APH is next, and ACB is third out of the big three. Looking at the hourly time frame for our key support levels, we have support at 2024, but if we break this other higher low of 2084, that would be the first red flag, and the bulls have to break the all-time high of 2197 to see continuation. MGW is one of the lower cap names. This is another name that honestly, I would be looking to short this name. You have now run multiple hundreds of percent in a few days. The volume climax is likely to be in very shortly, if not today, and we are extremely overbought. A blue sky breakout means we can be overbought for more significant amounts of time, but again, we're not just going to just go up forever, and I would be scouting for a bearish position. I personally am not going to short MGW as I am pretty limited, and that's another reason that the ACB short didn't go well for Citron so far, in my opinion, because the US sector, we can buy the OTC tickers, we can buy the Canadian tickers with a currency fee. I don't have any access to any bearish options on these names. I can't short the Canadian names. I can't short over-the-counter US tickers of these Canadian names. Only thing I can personally short is MJX. That's the only bearish exposure that I have with Fidelity. So I feel like a lot of the Citron followers were limited in their ability to short, which is why we didn't see a more significant reaction. So MGW on the hourly time frame, support is 157. Resistance is 195 and the all-time high of 206. If we can't break 206 within the first 15-20 minutes of trading tomorrow, look for that to be an indication of some profit taking. And also look for the potential of an equilibrium pattern with our high, low of the consolidation, maybe a lower high, higher low, tightening hourly range is what we're going to be keeping an eye out for. IIPR, look at how good this short was. So IIPR got overextended, blue sky breakout, but we shot up 80% in a few weeks. We pulled back almost 20% today from the all-time high. Look at what the signal was. High of yesterday, 36.88. Let's see the open today. So 36.88 was the high. Let me see here on this daily chart. So my numbers are a little bit off, it looks like. That's very odd. The shorter term time frame's giving me numbers. But the bottom line is, what I wanted to point out is the fact that we did not hit a new higher high on the daily. And that led to profit taking. The bull said, oh, we're not heading to higher highs. Time to lock in this profit because it's an insane amount. So we pulled back significantly. Shorts made 10 to 20%. And we might not be done consolidating just yet. So right now support is 30.31. If that breaks, I would love to see an hourly oversold bounce. Hourly RSI, not too oversold, but if we do drop down and break $30, this hourly RSI will be heading to oversold. And on this daily chart, just visually, I'd be looking for maybe one more red day and a bullish entry opportunity. Ideally, I would love to see a dump to the 28s, an hourly oversold RSI, and an entry opportunity to look for a bounce and an equilibrium pattern to play out. And if you're watching this video in YouTube land and a lot of what I'm saying is not making sense, watch the channels that we've got with some educational videos and certainly a lot that we go over on a daily basis from my live streams. But equilibrium patterns likely to form once we do start to see consolidation and volatility pick up in both directions, not just for the bulls, which we've been seeing for the past week. So just to summarize, I'm very bullish Canadian MJ overall. We're way too extended in the short term, being artificially pumped up in terms of normal price action going out the window with this MJ ETF buying everything in sight. I do believe that we're going to see significant consolidation of at least a very easy 10%, very likely 20% in a short amount of time on all of these names from their temporary tops. I will be waiting all cash and protective at that point, and I will reload once the time is right and once we are comfortable with our higher low being set on the daily time frame with more shares than I've ever had before. And I will look to do it all over again in terms of remain bullish until we see longer term signals that we should be looking bearish. So right now we are in the midst of euphoria and everybody's rushing into Canadian MJ, and eventually the music's going to stop and we're going to see buying pressure dry up, and then people start to lock in their profits and we pull back much quicker. Well, as soon as the ETF is not there to buy these dips, we're going to pull back, and it's that simple, and it's going to be very healthy. It's going to be nothing to be crazy scared about. We could pull back on WEED to $28 and still be extremely healthy on the daily time frame. So that's what we're looking for. Could entirely possibly see more upside tomorrow, but all of my entries at this point are very short term, and I will be looking to make another bearish entry on MJX, looking for a swing trade and multiple day hold once I am more confident that our top is in on some of these names. So hope everybody's doing well. Congrats to all the bulls on the profit, and let's make sure and protect some of that profit. Even if you're long-term positions, you know, you can take a little bit of profit. What if you took a 30-year position in profit and then reload lower? Maybe that's, you know, a little bit of experimentation in terms of, obviously you want to be aware of tax implications when you do that. But bottom line is do whatever you feel, do whatever you're comfortable. Technical analysis is great. I love you all. Good night.